Friday, January 21st, 2022. It's really cold, so I have my sweatshirt on. I've got my baseball cap, and then I've got the hood, and I'm standing in a count of Queens. County Queens. State of New York in a country of United States of North America, or America. United States of America, I think is what they call it, and then it's North America. However, that works at USA. So, watching a program I had taped from this morning, they had mentioned something about almost like a vanity pet, like a cloning of a pet, whatever. I was trying to find it. I was fast forwarding through, couldn't find it. Then all of a sudden, that disappeared, but all of a sudden, it says that the National Guard just reached the state of New Jersey, the state just to the south of me, to help out for 30 days. The hospital staff who's been reporting all of these really bad COVID numbers. Now it's interesting for me. I am not quite sure how they use the term National Guard. It's still confusing because I thought it in a wiffle ball with holes in it, with me inside of it, with my children and our safety, and I'm clutching it to my chest, looking for our forever family after being harmed within this section. I really would be looking for apple orchard trees to send apple orchard trees, even if it was to a state to the south of me. But that's not what arrived. It's part of this larger schematic problem. Now, again, they don't teach couch potatoes as children, even when they pass presidential executive administration, like fitness test for whatever level of panic schoolhouse safely we had in little like community trying to colonize and whatever for our life frame that would be happening simultaneously should one of us get in trouble or more than one, whatever, in whatever the future held. And if a planet disappears in the solar system, what level of human, monster, alien is the first to know? And the people standing on the ground, if the planet got cloaked or fell out of a Goldilocks zone or was close to no longer being in a Goldilocks zone, which would immediately harm the people on the surface, like who gets that level of important stuff? Because I'm finding land management really hard to communicate about at several levels over my life frame, because it just seems like there's been a lot of what I thought was an orchard with solid rooted plants and sections of orchard on my fish island, girl with pearl earring kind of a thing. I really thought that there was some kind of whatever. I have grown up now, not because I wanted to, but just because it's how, whatever, in time in a cylinder that's collapsing in on one another in some form of a black hole. And now I'm looking around and I really feel like I don't know how to even describe to my children the world around our local selves, how any of it interacts with anything else, and my parents were completely incapable of informing me correctly with their observation or lack thereof of instruction. So this is live footage that they're teleporting in. Today's January 21st, 2022.
Time for fresh.
Oh, this is one of my favorite commercials.
Challenge. Everyone on social media is trying me.
It's like I get tens and tens of views.
Common sense. Can't keep up. This is gonna get tens and tens of views. But if you don't have the right auto insurance coverage, you could be left to pay for this yourself.
Get Allstate and be better protected from mayhem for a whole lot less.
Allstate. I had them. I had to pay into that for years.
And if you have heart failure,
let me find the thing. Alright, they're running some new ad campaign. This is the newest one.
The best way to protect them. For decades, vaccines have kept our children safe from dangerous and deadly infections. They are one
Another
of the greatest
one
public
promoting
health success
false
stories.
narrative.
Schedule your child's free vaccine or contact their healthcare provider today. And please, don't forget to wear a mask.
Why'd you bring a chair in?
Learn more at ny.gov/vax4kids.
Now this is what...
Why wait till Super Bowl 56 when DraftKings can make you feel like a champion all playoffs long?
Alright, this new narrative is all of these cell phone, the smartphone. So now they moved from smart TVs to smartphones and these applications. And now New York State just made it legal to go on your cell phone and gamble. So now you don't have to actually physically go into the casino to gamble. You can now gamble all day long on your phone if you have money, which I don't, but I also don't gamble. So this is now, they think they've won some new freedom, and they're really excited about it. Until it takes hold like that old heroin epidemic or oxycodone epidemic, and then once they go bankrupt, they'll be really upset again. This is like the human psyche cycle that's really psychotic that I've had to witness in New York my entire life while being held in some form of isolation, panicking as safely as I can based on what's actually, like, who's been sent into my safety zone and how they've interacted with me. Not that I wanted them so, but that's just how the humans have done it. And this is the produce. This is what they did all that dangerous action and motions for, was to obtain all of this stuff. So now they've sent in National Guard to a hospital. I don't know if it's 30 days of observation or whatever, but it's really interesting because it's the same kids who are gambling, and Lotto is like their like big excitement of this month. And here we are.
Was hit by an SUV, and now the search is on for the driver. Happened around midnight at the intersection of 10th Avenue and 18th Street, not far from Prospect Park. Police say a man was riding an e-bike when he was struck. Authorities say the victim was wearing a helmet. He was rushed to the hospital.
I have no idea what an
condition.
e-bike
No description
is.
Yet of the SUV. More violence in the Bronx overnight. A convenience store employee was stabbed during a robbery. Now police are searching for 5 suspects.
This is the city of New York. This is how safe it is.
A cab driver was stabbed and robbed by his passengers following a dispute
This is
over the
Bronx County. The other one was Brooklyn County.
At a New Jersey hospital that's been struggling during the latest surge in COVID cases. 25 military medical support team members from the Department of Defense were greeted with cheers and applause Thursday at University Hospital in Newark.
We've been through an unprecedented crisis, a very traumatic experience, and what we see happening today with the military coming in.
Now, she works at the hospital, and I see her orchard, my orchard tree representatives were not sent in. Again, I don't quite understand if there's an observance of thought to be church reform related of some sort or illegal activity. Why would the military be zoning to send in relief for this particular doctor and not the appropriate orchard member for the United States President of America, which at the moment is Joe Biden? But similarly, if it was Trump, they somehow have sent the wrong children to answer the wrong call, which gets confusing at why does this keep happening?
It's a shot in the arm. It's an injection of vitality and energy, and saying that we're all in this together.
It's like a shot in the arm getting these kids, is what she
Military medical
says.
staff will serve for 30 days at University Hospital to fill gaps in staffing caused by the Omicron surge. The team includes a mix of doctors, nurses, respiratory therapists, and medical technicians. Now here's Elise with your forecast.
Good morning to you.
Now that is just so interesting. Are my family members in my apple orchard and Joe Biden's apple orchard and President Trump's apple orchard, are our children just not making it into uniform? I mean, like, I know I wasn't offered ever opportunity to be so welcomed into combat gear or to train for medical anything through military service. That wasn't even an option for me growing up. So I'm just curious as to was that like a national thing from like Atlantic Ocean to Pacific Ocean on my land mass just below Canada? Did any of us make it into combat gear and allowed to learn medical practices that way and technical skills that way? Because it's a little confusing why when observation or help is needed, the landscape of the eastern seaboard on the Atlantic side is changing epidermically by some force that I've never heard of. And I'm not quite sure at what level and to whom to address my concerns. I've never been allowed into a conversation about military service. Would you like to join? Where do you join? Who to join? What level to join? How does that work? I don't know. It's not even a conversation I'm offered. But yet, there is something called a military that has children that look nothing like my forever family. And it gets a little confusing as to where do I go for safety, since there's also on here some woman in the same whatever that's going in some civil suit, a lawsuit for money, who looks more like the vice president and this woman. She's going after money, civil suit, big bucks, for some Facebook platform, something against some stranger. I mean, I'm just curious as to how have all of these human practices developed. And I mean, like, everywhere I look, it feels like they're attacking some form of safety measure in order to profit off of it. I mean, it's all over the teleportation device. I didn't make this up. I'm not skewing the view. It's the same morning program. It's Channel 2. It's the